Okay, hello everyone. So, as some of the students complain about having a MacBook, so you can't install the Odoo on it. The problem is that you're using a Silicon Mac, running Windows on it is not compatible. So, if you're using an Intel Mac, like from 2019 something, you can install Boot Camp. So, basically, you can run Windows natively. But if you're using a MacBook M series, like with the M chips, Apple Silicon, then the problem is that you can't run in Windows natively. You have to use parallel. I think it's also a paid subscription, so it's kind of like a VirtualBox thing. So now the solution I found for Mac users is going to be as following. But I have to give one disclaimer that my MacBook is not too powerful, so perhaps the video quality might not be too good. But anyways, let me show you. So if you type Odoo Community Edition in your browser and come to the very first page about Odoo Community and come to the download page, here as you can see that you have to write your details, some credentials to install it. But the problem is, as if you scroll down, you see the option for Windows, Ubuntu, RPM, sources. So there's no option of macOS. So that is actually some kind of a problem, that there is no easy installation. So the solution is that we will actually use this source link, the one we also use for the Windows as well, the GitHub thing. So we will also be using that thing for macOS as well. So now without further ado, I will actually go through all these things once again for Mac users. So this time what I'm going to be doing is going to be more relevant for the Mac users. Okay, so first thing first, we need the Odoo from Git. So just like I told you in the Windows tutorial that you need a Git for it. So you need to install Git for it. Fortunately in Mac, like, it makes things easier. You don't have to go to the websites and download the installers. What you can do is you can run a command in a terminal and it will do that thing for you. So let me open my terminal. So okay, I'm using Spotlight to open the terminal, by the way. All those Mac users may be familiar with that. So this is your terminal, but for me it's not too aesthetic and it's not too clear. Of course it will do its job. If I type git, I have installed it already, it is showing me that thing, but for me it's not too aesthetic. So instead I'm using with terminal. This is actually a purely personal thing. Whichever terminal you are using right now will work for you. For me, I use this terminal because I've already installed it and I've already made it in a way that it's more aesthetic and it's more easier to read. But it doesn't matter. For you, if you want to get the job done, you can use this terminal. Just open the Spotlight and type terminal. But in my case, I am using this terminal. So anyhow, if I type git, I can see it's already installed. So let's say if you type git and it's going to give you an error, all you have to do is you have to type brew install git. And since I've already installed it, it's going to give me a warning kind of a thing that I've already installed it. Maybe I can upgrade it. But if you're installing Git for the first time, you need to run this command. Okay. So right now it is updating the brew and it's running the command. For you, if you're doing that thing for the first time, then for you it will be installing and it will automatically set up everything for you. That's actually one thing I like about Mac, that you don't have to set up too many things. It's automatically doing a lot for you actually. But if you're coming from Windows, then you have to go to the environment variables. You have to put that thing in the environment. If you have watched the Windows tutorial, then you know what I'm talking about. Okay, right now what it is doing is actually it is updating Blue. Since I haven't updated in a very long time, so it is doing its own thing. But this is actually not the point of this video. Like, it's not installing it actually. It's just updating. I should have done that thing before making this video, but before pressing the record button, I think it doesn't matter. So right now I think it's downloading the updated version of Git. See, upgrade. In your case, it's going to show you that it's installing for the first time, but for me it's upgrading. Okay. Now again, it will make no change if I press the git or not. It will not change anything because it is installed now. It is upgraded. Okay, so now as the git is installed, so I will just copy this command and see in my terminal. If I even open terminal, this is my west terminal, but if I open my terminal, you see like this hyphen thing. That means I'm in the root directory. What I will do is I will type cd desktop. So when I see this name, just like this, cd desktop, so that means I'm in my desktop directory right now. I'm in the desktop. So once again, I will not use the terminal, but I'm using my own terminal to show you. I will just simply put the command, this one, because now the git is installed. But since, as you can see that as you can see, the folder is already there. That means I've already downloaded the git from the I have already downloaded the Odoo from that git repository. And the reason for doing so was because my internet is slow and sometimes like it will take a lot of time to in the video. So once again, you need to come to a CD desktop, and it doesn't matter where you put, but for me, I generally want things on my desktop, so I want to put it there. But now you can see it's giving me an error because it's already exists and it's not an empty directory. Basically, that means that I've already downloaded and it's not installed, by the way, like it's not an installer, but whatever that was on the git, whatever that is here has been cloned, has been copied, and has been installed in my, or has been downloaded in my Mac. Okay, so once that is done, once you do that thing, then you need to install Python. So again, like you can use Homebrew or like you can go to the website, but what I will recommend once again is Anaconda. So you need to come to Google and type Anaconda distribution. So upon clicking in, get started. I think my Mac fans are going bonkers because it's actually an old Mac, so that's why like it's not up to the mark. But if you're using a Mac Silicon, you won't be facing all these problems. Okay, here you need to click on Mac, and just to make things simple, you need to come here 64-bit Apple Silicon. If you're using a Mac, by the way, since I'm using Intel Mac, it's not compatible. But for you, if you're using the M series, you have to download this one, 64-bit Apple Silicon graphic installer. You don't have to go for Miniconda, you have to go for Anaconda. So upon clicking it, it will download the setup, and it's an installer. I'm just going to cancel it because I've already installed it, but I won't install the bootcamp version. So if I come back here, in the end you will have something like this, Anaconda Navigator. So I have put it in my all the apps. So let me open the Anaconda distribution to create a Python environment, because it's going to be necessary for our installation further. It's launching. I think I have to fast forward the video. Okay, doesn't matter. So here it's going to be exactly identical for the Windows user as well. Like if you're watching a Windows tutorial before, it's going to look exactly identical. Like there's no difference. The only difference is the OS that is installed. So again, you see like space root, you can create a new Python environment. I'm going to call it Python Odoo. Now for the Windows users, I told you to go for, because in the lab when we were testing it, we find out that even that version was not too compatible. So instead of going for 3.12, I would recommend you to go for 3.10. It's going to be more stable. So create an environment. using Python 3.10.18 or whatever that was there, just go for the version 3.10. By the way, it means like 3.10.18, it means like 10, okay, 3 is the Python version, 10 is the major version, and 18 is the minor version. So sometimes if you have a minor improvements, like you don't upgrade the whole thing. So 3.11 and 3.12, like these are the major upgrades. So let it create its environment first. Okay, it has done. Now, so here in the Windows, you have to go to the, when you install Anaconda here, you don't need to go to the path or something. It's automatically doing that thing for you. So that's why this is the beauty of Mac, that sometimes you don't need to do a lot of things. So right now, if I open the terminal again, okay, one more thing that why I prefer my own terminal over uh, this terminal is if I open side by side, here you see base, and if you see here, you see the question mark, like, because not a lot of font has been installed. It's actually an aesthetic thing once again. For you, like, your terminal is going to look different, by the way. I'm using some special I would call plugins for my terminal, so that's why it's looking more aesthetic. So here, if I type Python version, it's showing me 3.12.2. Why is that? Because I'm actually connected, or I'm using the base version, the conda base, if you saw the base root in the bracket. So what I will do is I will type conda activate, and if you can see, like, all these types, all these commands like autofill, that means I've used them before. For you it may not happen because you may not have the appropriate libraries or plugins. So once I activate the Python Odoo, now you can see the base has been changed to PyOdoo. In your case, it will still display you, but what the important thing is, if I use the Python version again, it's showing me 3.10.18. This is important. If you don't do this command, then you have created this environment for nothing. And when you will be installing the plugins, or when you will be installing the modules for Odoo, it may not be compatible. This is the issue some of you students were facing in the lab, because you were still using 3.12. And for Mac, I think 3.12 is still not compatible for Odoo in Mac. So you need to downgrade even further. For me, 3.10 is more stable, so instead of going for 3.11, I went for 3.10. So let me get rid of that. Now, I will make a very big leap. I will come to Postgres later, but I will try to install the community packages for, or I will call it dependencies for the Odoo. So once again, I will open my terminal. I will go to desktop. Okay, now after coming to desktop, I will actually go inside the, I will go inside this Odoo folder. So for me, if I type ls, it will see everything, it will list out everything that is inside my folder. But the important thing is this in requirements.txt file. So it should install the appropriate requirements or modules. So before I run the command, I need to change the space to my environment. So one way to check it is, like, if you use Python version again, if it's showing you 3.12 or anything else, that means you are not using your own version. So for that, you need to activate. So I use conda activate Python Odoo, the name of the environment I made. So once I type that thing and check the Python version again, now it's showing me 3.10. That means I'm good to go. So I will come back here, and instead of going through all this thing, I will just copy the last command because I've already been in the path. So I will just press enter. Now it will do its own thing. As you can see, now some of the packages has been installing. Okay, For you, it may take time depending on the internet speed, but for me, like I've already installed these packages before, so it didn't need to download once again. So if you see something like that and no error, that means you're good to go. You have installed the module successfully in your environment. Now if I can show you pip list, I should have done that thing before. There is a lot of packages, for example, all of the things like PyPDF2, which was somewhere here. So like all of some of these packages which have been downloaded and installed, you will see them in your pip now. This is actually a thing to just show you. You don't need to do that thing. It's something to just show you. So now we will move on to the next step. By the way, one more thing. If you see this error, non-warning, non-Python dependencies, so before you run the command, you can, since I've already done it, so it doesn't give me any problem, but you can try this. Xcode select install. So you see, for me, it's just showing that it's already installed, and for me, if I want to upgrade, I can go to the software upgrade, but that is not important. If you are still facing an error before running that command, just go for this one. Okay. Now we will move on to the next step, which is to install Node.js. This one. I will come to the Postgres later. Okay, so now we will move on to the Node.js installer. So again, I'm already in my terminal. It doesn't matter which location I am. All I need is this command. Okay, wait. Before I use this command, I will type do install. Now instead of git, I will type node.js. Now it will install the node.js for me. This is actually important for the web page when we are running the web page. When we are running the Odoo, it is actually opening on a web page, which is your browser. So that's why you need it actually. Some of the packages I've already installed before because I use my Mac for my own work as well. So let's say if it is not exactly identical, don't worry about it too much, because in the end of the day, like I've already installed some of the things, but I'm still going through it again, and maybe the procedure might be a little different because in my case, it is upgrading instead of installing it for the first time. Okay, it is done. So you don't need to worry about the other things too much. You just need to install this. It's asking me for my password. This is actually my Mac password. Okay, you see I did 7 packages in 3 seconds. So now this is important actually, that 7 packages has been added, which is for the RTL CSS for I think the web stuff. Now I wish to go through like this link to just show you, but before that we need to install the PostgreSQL. So I will show you how now. Okay, finally we'll be installing the PostgreSQL, and this would be the last step most probably. But I just want to tell you that before installing PostgreSQL here on my machine now, I've already had it on my MacBook before. So I have to uninstall it, and now I'm going to install it again in front of you. So there are actually steps involved, and I want you to focus on them, because if you don't, then I think it might cause some problem. So first thing first, I will come to this Postgres app page where I can find the installer. And here I can go through all these steps, but what important is that if I come to downloads, now I don't want to rush to, you just don't rush to download 18, the version 18. Because when I was troubleshooting, I find out that version 18 is not compatible with the current thing we are doing. So I want you to scroll down and install Postgres SQL 17. I want you to download this one. And since I already have it, I will proceed with installing it. So it's a DMG file. All you need to do is you have to drag it into applications So it will extract itself and put itself in applications. So let it do its thing for now. So it might be a little different from you, because in my case I've already installed it before and some of the settings are maybe there, but I will try my best to run it. Anyways, I will get rid of all those setups and I will come to Launchpad, and you see that Postgres is there. So right now, since I'm running it for the first time, it is suggesting me that Postgres 17 need to be initialized somewhere. So all you have to do is, if you see this cross, you have to press this initialize button, the blue one here. And now it is showing me all this thing. So if you will see in the taskbar, this Postgres is also there, and if it is green, that means it's running. Now the next step is, if I come back to the intro again, okay, we have initialized that thing. Now the third step is to put it in a path. Now why it is important, because if I come to my terminal, I should have shown you before, unfortunately, but it doesn't matter. When you type this command, type psql, if you get something like this, that means that it has installed. Now if you don't got something like this, all you need to do is you need to copy this command and paste it here, and after that you can press enter or reload this terminal again. It will be, and then if you type the psql again, it will work. In my case it is working because I've already set the path before. So okay, now after installing it, we can come back to the page, and all we need to do is, instead of copying the whole command here, we just need from here. So I will just copy it and paste, and instead of $user, I will call it Odoo. It is going to create a user for me. Now I'm not sure if you notice, but let me check that thing again. Wait. Okay, it's running that one. So I want you to notice here that right now we have Postgres, Rianafzil, which is my name, and then template one. In your case, it depends, like what do you have. Most probably you will have Postgres already there. But the next command I will use is create db odoo. After running the first one, now I'm using the second one with the same name. If I come back here, you see this Odoo has been created there. But we will not play with it too much. Our job with the Postgres is done. If you really want to try to use some kind of graphical interface, we can always come back to this website and we can install pgadmin 4. Now some of you people who watch my Windows tutorial, there I was using pgadmin 4. But here it's not entirely necessary to go through that process. I mean, and if you want to install it and want to do things graphically, you're allowed to do that, but like it's not actually a necessity. But anyhow, our job with Postgres is done, which is quite simple compared to the Windows one. I will scroll all the way down to my location. So I will come to desktop and Odoo folder. And now, before I run this code, okay, what it will do first of all, it will create a new database called MyDB here. It will create MyDB here. Now this Odoo was to show you an example. The reason why I created the Odoo user was because if I scroll all the way back, it says the default the only user is Postgres. In my case it was Rihanna as well, but like this Postgres is not it does not allow you to create the database. So it's actually important to create a new user for our database purpose. And this part was like to just show you, but still if you want to follow, you can follow it. Now here, after coming back, before running the command, I'm in base, I need to be in my environment, so I will use pyoodoo. Okay, so now it is in pyoodoo. I will copy this command and paste it here. Okay, now it's doing its thing. You maximize it. You see initializing database MyDB. So if I open my Postgres again, MyDB has been created there as well. So later on when we will be doing the assignments, you will just put the name there. Like in our case, we are using the West End bicycles. So maybe in the class we will be using West End bicycles, but this is just to show. Now it is doing its thing. Okay, once you see registry loaded in 32 seconds, that means like all of your modules have been loaded. So you can come back to this website again and just click on this localhost now. Now you see like it is showing you, instead of an error, it is showing the page. So for the ID and password, sorry, for the email and password, I will just go with admin and admin. And I will just go with login. Now here we have it. You can see like we have installed Odoo on, it's not entirely an install, but we have set up the Odoo on our Mac. So later on when we will be doing our assignments, we can do it in this fashion. So I hope it helps. If you still have some question, you can still reach out to me. Thank you.